Yeah, so the remake got announced like 2 days ago. Right, and so I'll read through the... we'll read through their article, we'll watch their... You can't see it up top, but their 3 videos that they have. And then we'll go through some things that I have to compare to things. My general feeling about it is mixed. Before we get into this. There's stuff I like and there's stuff I really don't like. And then things I just don't have much of an opinion on. Or are fine, but not what I would choose for a remake. So I guess we can just get into it. And they say that they're pleased to announce that their next game, Halo Campaign Evolved, will be a ground-up remake of Halo Combat Evolved's genre-defining campaign, coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5 in 2026. So sometime next year. It has new missions, which is really interesting. They're adding on to what is already in CE. Expanded gameplay, which don't really know what that means. 2-player split screen on consoles. Online and network co-op for up to 4 players on console and PC. So basically, I think if you're on one system, if you're on one console, one system, on one screen, I think you get 2-player. But if you have more than one, you're going to get 4-player on your console, or if you're on PC, you just get 4-player. Seamless cross-platform play with shared progression. I don't know how that's going to fit into it. It's probably still going to be 4-player, right? And they claim it'll be the definitive return trip through one of gaming's greatest journeys. They have their roundtable review, which we'll look at in a minute. That's over here, but I feel like it's better to go through their trailers before we do the roundtable. Then down here, is this even important to say? Okay, yes it is. The vistas and monumental set pieces you'll encounter in Halo Campaign Evolved faithfully evoke the grandeur of Halo Combat Evolved's narrative and scenery, completely rebuilt with high-definition visuals, improved controls, and refined level design. So, they claim that it's faithfully, and that's something I'll touch on later. It seems like they are, and seems like they're not that great at the same time, at keeping things faithful. I'm not sure if it's like sub-teams or what, but there's some choices that they've explained that are very faithful to the original. And then things like some of the weapon models we'll take a look at that are not at all faithful. It goes to their gameplay. First, we're just going to go into their trailer, I think. I am doing better, John. Thank you very much. So you can see they've got new cutscenes. They have only showed...
The ring has some kind of deep religious significance. They call it Halo. They believe that Halo is some kind of weapon.
They've only showed, like, the first half of Silent Cartographer, one mission. And as you can hear there, they have redone some of the voice lines, which I'm not super stoked on. I was fine with the original voice lines and the original voice profiles. Like, Steve Downes, as great as he is, no disrespect whatsoever, it doesn't punch the same way with his older voice as it does with the original.
What
you
sort
can
of
hear the age.
One with unimaginable... They believe that Halo is some kind of weapon.
What sort of weapon is it?
One with unimaginable power.
It wasn't too bad in that line, but some of them are a little rougher. This one, I kind of like this one. I also kind of have my own little issues with it, because I'll show you here. Let me bring this up. Actually, we can do two things at once. Let me put that away real quick and just rewind back to their hologram. I'm not as big of a fan of their panel and stuff on this. I'm like a huge Halo nerd, so that's like my level of detail is I'm not a huge fan of that hologram and some of how this looks, considering that I can bring up this one, and I know you can't hear it, unfortunately. I don't know why, but I tried. So unfortunately, you can't hear the sound difference that I recorded right there. you can see that this is the original hologram. It has a slightly different look to it. It feels very different. There's that kind of running design theme through Forerunner holograms and stuff like that. A whole lot going on with the panel. Little things like that that I like in the original. That doesn't quite fit what that is as much. But then, as we get down to the Elite that walks through here, I can talk about that guy a little more. And also that door. So if I go back slightly, I like the door in the original game.
What sort of weapon is it?
One with unimaginable power.
Oh, you can't see it in this one. I saw it in the gameplay. The door is different in a way that I'm not a huge fan of. But I love the audio design for that cutscene. The model on this, I don't dislike the model, but it's not how I would have done it, because you can see this Elite is far more gold with black accents. The other one's more black with gold accents. And that's very nerdy, but that's my level of detail for this kind of game. It does look nice, though. It's just not really the CE model. And that's something that I'm going to be pointing out a lot, is they're using models from Infinite instead of from CE for their design language. Which I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I've heard people that are not fans of the Marine design, because it's, like Halo Infinite Marines. I've not gotten a good look at them, because obviously I've not played it. I've not played the preview, some other people have. People that were, like, at their event. I do like the Jackal shields, I don't mind those at all. The, normal blue Elite look is fine by me. I don't have a problem with that one. It felt to me kind of like the, there's one other thing I'm supposed to bring up here. I have screenshots from in-game. Okay. I have to bring up Steam. And I don't have a thing for that. Let me just grab a new window capture real quick. I can get rid of it later. Where's Steam? Here? So, open up Steam. Where's my... I had to kill them in order to get a good picture, but it looks a little bit different than this one, but it's still there. I gotta change my audio level. I don't know how that sounds. That sounds awful. What about this one? It's a little bit better. Okay. So I'm pretty fine with the way they did the Elites. It's not that different, really. It's not that bad. They look kind of samey. It just has that Infinite look. What were we looking at in here? Warthog. The Warthog, there's something that feels very different about the Warthog, and this is Halo 2, but I think I also have some Halo 1 ones. You got that feeling to it. Where's my Halo Warthog in here? There we go. You can see it's kind of similar. Originally, I really did not like the Warthog that they were showing off, but I've kind of come around to it. It has a weirder angling to it somewhere. That's not really a good side-by-side. Something about it is off to me, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the front end.
Real fight. The cartographer must be here.
I don't mind it too much, though. The hunters are pretty darn good. I'm fine with the hunters.
Give them hell.
Alright, yeah, so we got a tiny glimpse of our Marines. It's hard to see. I've heard people that don't like them. For me, I'll show you what they would be pointing at when they say they don't like them, because CE Marines have a very distinctive look. I got them around here somewhere. You can see they're very plate heavy. There's a lot of plate, there's that distinctive helmet with the visor on it, little eyeglass. Do you have any more, or are those the only ones? Those are the things I have those. We're gonna go through some of the weapon stuff when we go through their gameplay video. There are a lot more things to talk about in that one in regards to models and whatnot.
Give them hell.
So I can show why I like certain things more than what they have chosen. So there's that one. We'll go through here now, because I assume that you've probably seen that one, but I wanted to show the actual trailer before we go to the gameplay one. And they state over here, expands the original adventure with new missions, enhanced cinematics, which we've seen, more weapons, which there's a couple that we'll see down here somewhere that are listed, but that's not an exhaustive list. Vehicle improvements, I have no idea what that means, and more skulls than ever. I don't mind having more skulls. I would never mind that. New missions, they said you get to fight beside Johnson. As you encounter new characters, enemies, environments, and dangers in 3 new missions set before Combat Evolved. So it's a prologue, but I'm not sure how they're going to do that, because it really only makes sense to have happen on Reach, and I'm not entirely sure how they're going to handle that. Stunning cinematics, battle through all of Halo Combat Evolved's iconic moments with enhanced cinematics featuring new motion capture animations. The animations I like some of, others are a little bit odd, and freshly recorded dialogue from returning cast members. I've already said that I'm not a huge fan on redoing the dialogue, because I don't like the feeling of it as much as the original stuff. I've got no problem with just reusing the original voice lines. It feels kind of unnecessary to me. Obviously, the new missions would need it, and maybe would sound weird that way, and that's why they chose to do it. I'm sure they have their reasons. Enhanced audio, I don't agree with that, really. Immerse yourself in heroic exploits with a remastered soundtrack. The soundtrack is great. I'm fine with that. Fully rebuilt sound design brings Halo's unmistakable weapons and vehicles to life in stunning fidelity. No, it does not. They have this weird mishmash of old sounds and new sounds that they make for this that I don't like, largely. And we'll go over some of those in their gameplay trailer, because there's some stuff like the Magnum sound that just doesn't sound good compared to the old one, and I wish that you could hear my media player sound, so that you could hear what I'm talking about when I say that it's not nearly as punchy. The expanded arsenal, here we go. 9 additional weapons from the Halo universe for the first time in CE. The energy sword, which I'm super happy about. The battle rifle, which I'm kind of neutral on. Battle rifle can be good. It's better in some installments than others. It doesn't need to exist in CE, but okay. Needle rifle, kind of similar feeling. I don't know what the needler rifle's doing in there. Unless it's going to be on Reach in those missions, then it makes sense. The 3 new ones. And more instantly recognizable Halo weapons. We have no idea what that means. I think, what did somebody... I think somebody was suggesting that they're probably adding the SMG, which I would actually really like. Vehicle upgrades. Oh, this is what they mean. Chief can hijack nearby enemy vehicles and add range to his repertoire at the helm of the Wraith tank. So you can actually drive some of the stuff you couldn't drive before in CE, which is very nice. I like that. Being able to take some of these new mechanics that are objectively good things back into the original one are very nice, because it's stuff Bungie would have done if they were doing it today. Better still, the dependable Warthog now boasts an additional seat on the rear bumper, so your whole 4-player fire team can ride out together. Yeah, they just kind of hang out on the back, on the bumper. It's a little goofy looking, but since there's only 3 seats in the Warthog, they'd have to either change the Warthog or do something like this, because it has 4-player. Someone was going to get left behind, so I'm completely fine with them making the bumper a seat, even though the bumper doesn't actually exist in most of the other Warthog designs. That's fine. Dozens of skulls. Remix your experiment with the most gameplay modifying skulls of any Halo campaign. Skulls for randomized weapons, altered enemy behavior, player attributes, environmental effects, and more. So the only thing they really tell us is, or that's new, is randomized weapons. And then they have a lot of skulls. And over here, first time, allows players to seamlessly squad up with friends playing on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation in both online and networked co-op for 4-player, which is cool. So far, on the MCC, the only ones that we know of that you can play with more than 2 people is ODST and 3, which is important because we're taking Cherry through some of the Halo games, and we just did ODST the other day. That's when we started on before her, because there were 3 of us, so we couldn't just start with Reach or 1, unfortunately. And ODST feels the most self-contained, like it doesn't need as much of the background for it. So we've done that. This kind of gets away from that problem. I'll wait on the ads. Back over here. What do we have? Console versions support 2-player split screen, but they also do 4-player. It's just, I don't know if you need more consoles or how they do that, but there is 4-player on console from what I've seen. 13 campaign missions with a friend. And then here's their gameplay preview. So now we're gonna go take a peek at this. Cutscene again. The cutscene looks really good. I will say for Silent Cartographer,
The Covenant believe that what they call the Silent Cartographer is somewhere under this island. The Cartographer is
you can
a
see the
mapper
pop
that
in
will
there
lead us
because
to Halo's control
UE5.
center.
I hope that thing gets fixed. I hope that kind of thing gets fixed, but I'm not going to hold a breath on it. Also, any lag you see is them, not me. Which does not bode well when this is your trailer and it has lag in it. That looks stunning. I love that. The Forerunner structures need a little bit of lighting work. They're too chromy. There's something about the landscape in this that feels generic to me. It's hard for me to figure out why. I do actually have a screenshot when they start running around. At least one. There's Faux Hammer, first time you see her. There were people freaking out because you get to see Faux Hammer and they're like super excited. For me, I don't really care. It feels unnecessary for me to throw that in there. Purely because there's this thing when you're like writing a story or making a movie or something. John Wick kind of does it. They went a little too odd with it later on, trying to drum it in people's brain too much. But there's this thing called I think it's the Noodle Incident, right? Where you basically set up this thing that has occurred, this scenario that's happened, that you don't show, and you don't give out a whole lot of details about. But you can't ever do better than the readers or the watchers' own imagination for it. So it becomes better to just never actually answer it and leave the mystery, and it's better. For me, that's what Faux Hammer kind of fit in. I never needed to see Faux Hammer because there was no way that any depiction of actual Faux Hammer, the pilot there, could be better than my imagination for her. So at most it would be neutral. The worst it could do is be not nearly as good as it could be. So if I were making a remake, I would leave that out of there, but that's not necessarily a knock against it. It's not really a negative. I just wouldn't do it myself, because I like that mystery. People do love, and I agree, having the visor on there, that very specific look to it, that's straight out of CE. It looks so good in the remake. But yeah, Faux Hammer is everyone's, or among everyone's favorite characters for CE that are like side characters. So good. You hear that Magnum? You hear how wimpy that sounds? So if I go back again. It just doesn't sound punchy. It's not bassy enough. It doesn't sound like the massive freaking round that it is. It sounded great in the original game, and I wish you could hear this when I'm shooting this in my media player, but I can use this to show you the sound of the Magnum I was talking about. There you go. There's that meaty Magnum sound that's missing. If I can find it real quick. I wish you could hear me shoot this thing. Because that sound is so much better. And then there's also the AR. I wanted to... Let's get a light picture there. And then go over here to when he has the AR out. I don't like the modeling for their AR. Can I get a good... There we go, that's good. So they went back, because if I bring this back up, 60 round mag in the original, 32 round in the remake, which means it's the wrong AR, and I don't know why they would do that. My opinion of it is, if it's still strong this way, I won't really mind it personally, but it's also, again, not what I would do for a remake. I would try and stick to what the original was doing. If I have an AR with a 60 round mag in original CE, and I'm making a remake of CE, I'm going to give you the 60 round mag on the AR. It just feels correct. But if you look at their design here, I don't know if my cursor goes on this. I gotta move my chat out of the way. No, I'm not seeing cursor. Okay, so if you look at around their ammo counter, and then I bring the other one up, it feels like it might be a little sharper of an angle on that front end. This isn't the best two angles, but it's like it's steeper from the very tip to the back of that ammo counter. It also seems sharper around the edges of the ammo counter a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I also think it may not be flat on top, behind the ammo counter towards us, like it is in the remake. There's weird design cues in it that I'm not a huge fan of. Something about their AR just looks weird to my eye. I will say the Magnum design looks fine. Physically, it's great. Audio-wise, I don't like the sound for either of these two weapons. I'll shut up so you can hear it better. There's no real meat to these shots, like there is in the original game. I would not call those higher fidelity sounds. I would call that having less of its identity. It's less unique, it sounds more generic, and it doesn't have the same presence like it does in the original game. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the audio design for those. Meanwhile, here's the weird thing. Listen to the plasma pistol, because this is so good. The plasma weaponry in general, I think, are more true to the original. I don't remember about the plasma rifle. That sounds so good compared to the other ones. There's something about the feedback visually when you shoot stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. It's like it's less visually coded. It's less visual feedback and more just hit marker feedback, which I'm not a fan of. I love when things are more immersive. Like with Dead Space, the health bar and all sorts of other stuff just exists in the world.
That will show us the location of Halo's control center.
On his back, the holograms come out of, like,
I've
something
been able
to do with his
pinpoint the
suit.
main facility by cross-referencing Covenant survey data and
have
religious
presence.
texts. You were right. It's on this island. I've marked the entrance with a nav point.
And then, in Halo, when you would shoot things in the shield, you got really good visual feedback and sound feedback that doesn't seem as strong in this one. I don't mind the jackals. The grunts look a little bit odd to me, but they do have the original voice sound, which I love. Thank goodness they did not do the Reach or 343 thing, where they no longer speak English and have their fun little high-pitched voices. There's so much charm in that. I don't know how I feel about the sound of the gun on the Warthog. I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
There, in the cliff wall. I'll bet the silent cartographer is somewhere inside
I'm
that
probably
facility.
neutral on the gun.
They're already inside. We have to get
I
in
would
there
see-
and stop them before they learn
Alright,
the
here we go.
location
Can
of
I get a good image of this that has some stuff going on that I don't want in the way? Let's get that indicator out of the way. I guess turn captions off so you can see this better. I do not like the look of this plasma rifle. This thing is awful. Can I get a clearer picture somewhere? Maybe here in like 1440. Or, you know what, this one. Okay, there you go. There's this weird nub on the very front that I do not like. And there's something about the shaping of this, where again, like the ammo counter, feels, from the AR, that sharper kind of outline. On the back of this gun, you can see it, the blue piece that looks kind of like a cheek rest. It feels off to me. And excuse me while I bring up the screenshots I have here. Where's my plasma pistol? Or not plasma pistol, my plasma rifle. Okay, so here's one from Halo 2. You can see it doesn't have that weird nub on the very front of it. So if I put this back away, look at the front of this gun. It's harder to see. I'll try and make this larger so you can see it. You're looking at that weird nub in the front, whereas if I bring this one back up, that's not there. It does not exist on that one. They've changed kind of that front portion near the, what would you call that, a heatsink maybe? With the fun little design. I'll see if I can get a better picture of this. You know what, no, let's just keep pulling up some of the other Steam ones real quick. Setting a few of these. I picked Halo 2, I also have the Halo 1 one somewhere, I think. Oh, I have a bunch of them, I know exactly where they are. The Halo 2 ones are my favorite. So they have the wings down there, which is good, I do like that. But then they did weird things to it. Let me bring up the screenshots that I have here. So if we go back to the original, again, no weird nub on the front. Isn't that just so odd? Did they have to chuck that in for some reason? There's basically a similar angle. You can see just how different these are. I don't know why they made it weird, sharp edges. They made it sleek instead of rounded. And I don't know why they did that, because the plasma rifle has such a unique, beautiful design, and then you go and you make this, and it just doesn't look good. I don't like that. I think that's the anniversary one. So when they made the remaster, with Halo Reach assets, even that looked better. Because it's still more rounded. You can see when they made Halo 2, they knew exactly what they were doing, and made it basically the exact same thing, just in a different engine. Then you go to the anniversary, what is that one? Is that Reach? I think that's Reach. Yeah, that's Reach. So this is where it has that weird nub. is the moment we go to Reach, it starts getting a weird, pronounced look to it. Unless that's 3. No, that one's Reach. Yeah, so in 3 is when they start doing that. I was never really a big fan of the Halo 3 design for it. I think you can see, do they make the wings different? I think the wings, is it the bottom section? There's something weirder that doesn't feel the same here. Is it the handle color? Is that what's doing it? That might be. And then we go to Reach, and it's vastly different. And I don't know anybody that actually likes the Reach design, because that's where that little change gets super exaggerated and just doesn't look good anymore. Then you end up with this thing, which is kind of halfway back. I would have liked them to just keep the CE look.
Before they learn the location of the control center.
And that's something I'm going to say a lot with some of this stuff. It sounds a little weird. I don't hate it as much, though. It's not like the plasma pistol where it just sounds bad. It's this thing, it just doesn't have punch. Their plasma pistol's perfect. It's absolutely perfect, but then somehow, on the 2 human weapons we've seen so far, the sound design's not good. And this thing, this disgusting piece of crap. I hate the Needler so much in this. They just pulled the Infinite design that nobody liked, that has an ammo counter on the back. Why does the Needler have an ammo counter? The gun is the ammo counter. Why did they do that in the first place, you know? It doesn't make any sense to me. Do I have screenshots of this for you? Yes, I do. So you have this beautiful, lovely design. Again, that's Halo 2, but I think I have Halo 1 ones as well. That's me just holding the Needler. You can see the needles are a little bit different. In these, they look crystally. In those, they just look sharp and jagged, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but that's not too awful. It's the rest of that design that sucks. The back is no longer that rounded chunk, now it's this weird flattened thing. It looks to me, for the Infinite design, like somebody decided, you know what, I don't like the original design, let's try and make it look more modern. You know, more modernized, even more sci-fi, just generic sci-fi. Had just a completely flat back to it without an ammo counter, and then decided this looks awful, just, I don't know, instead of making it look correct, throw in the ammo counter on it, and that's how they got Infinite's design. And then for some reason, they bring this back for this game. When you have the CE one that you can pull, that's the wrong application. Here we go. The CE one, which is very different. It looks like the Halo 2 one here, right? Color the needles. Everything. The Halo TV show needlers. Yup, true. Like, this design just looks so good. It always has. They go into the Halo 2 one. It keeps all of the same cues. It's just slightly differently colored. And that's fine. There's ads, so I'll wait before I do too much. My rant about reusing Infinite designs is important because when we go and watch the roundtable, they are going to insist that they are very, very careful about sticking, that's not Dale, about sticking very true to CE and trying to make everything feel as much like CE as possible. And then they do this and just pull Infinite models for some reason. And there's no clue for someone like me why they chose to do that. They are simultaneously saying one thing, kind of keeping true to that, but then also completely doing a 180. Alright, so the ads are done. What I was saying is, when we watch their roundtable, they're going to insist that they're very true to CE and being extremely careful about keeping it perfect and exact to CE while not doing it. I definitely do not like the Needler design one bit. I feel like there's sub-teams or different teams that are completely different priorities.
That the map room should be at the bottom
Because it makes
floor
sense
of
for
this
this. Okay, here we're gonna get
Let's keep going inside.
the door change, which I'm
let them
not
lock the
really a big
doors.
fan of. Yeah, so you see how it's just kind of flat coloring back there? It's just a flat coloring.
Interesting.
It does not look that great. If I go back to if I go back here, you can see they have a very specific design. Very specific there, right? And I love that design for those doors. They're very unique. There's nothing else like them. And then here, it's just so incredibly generic. Yes, that is Sprint, and I'll get into that later. That's its own entire rant. I don't know why they changed the doors. I would not have. I like these doors. I don't like that door because it's generic. I don't like when unique Halo things become more generic. And I'm being very nerdy with
understanding of Halo's
my
subsystems.
nitpicks.
We need to find
This
a
looks
security
incredible.
over-
I do love this. I think I have screenshots of what this was before. I do not mind this one bit because it looks incredible. When I got these screenshots specifically for this, here we go. So that's what it was. That's what it is. That's what it was. That's what it is. It's a little bit different, but I don't mind that one. I guess the design changes aren't that great. It feels Halo 4-y to me. Maybe? Is that what it is? It feels too infinite, that's what it is. For Silent Cartographer, where it was very subtle with the design, this feels too over-designed, but I don't mind it that much.
Override to get this door open.
Cortana to Keys.
Go ahead, Cortana. Have you found the control center?
We're like
Negative,
5
Captain.
minutes into the
The
13-minute
Covenant
one.
has impeded our progress. We can't proceed unless we can disable this installation's security system.
Understood. We're still en route to the objective.
I still feel like there's something odd about this Warthog that I can't quite place. It's probably the
I
angling,
want you to use any means necessary to force your
but
way
it
into
has
the
grown
facility
on
to
me. I don't
find
mind the
control center.
Warthog design so much. And then that bumper, there's your fourth seat back there.
Let's move down the beach. Keep an eye out for any unusual
You can get a guy
structures.
sitting on the
Follow
bumper
security.
because, 4-player necessitates a fourth seat. And that is a compromise I'll take for that one. I do love the turret design. The turret design looks perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Looks like there is a path into the interior.
They did
of the
change
island.
this, and I'll be completely honest, I don't mind this change right here, that we're gonna see in a second or two. Also, they EMP the vehicle, and, retaliatory hijack. I love that, that's actually great. Everybody loved that kind of stuff in the other games, so having those over is nice. But, here's this little change here. 3D printed, but it doesn't bother you, because that's how it looks. Yeah. I got beef here in 2, you did. So you'll notice, you don't get to drive here in the normal game. There's a tree in the way. I don't mind this at all. And the reason I don't mind is that you can't really take it much farther anyway, and literally everyone tries to get over that, gap, to get into that gap, and get the Warthog through. That's fine, just taking the tree out and letting people have it. I don't mind at all. I did say with the scenery that I was going to point out something about the scenery doesn't feel Halo to me, and I'm not sure what it is. And not to say that they didn't do a good job at the scenery, it just doesn't feel as unique. I'll go through some of the scenery, I guess. You can see some of the background here. But, Skybox, we'll see later. It looks good, in my opinion. But these cliffs and everything have a very distinctive look. I look at this, if you take the character models, these props, the HUD, and the player character out of this, I still know that I'm looking at Halo. It's very clearly Halo, right? If I were to go back towards the beginning, let me check, we're at 6:36. If I go back to the beginning here, right? And we start looking at these clips, I cannot say the same thing about this scenery here. See if I can get one where he's looking further on the left. Like that. If you take this chunk out here, and all the stuff that makes it clear that you're playing Halo, compared to this, I see this background and I know this is the Halo CE engine. I know this is the Halo CE models for the landscape. I don't need any of the other things to know that that's Halo. In this, you do that, it looks like it could be any game ever made. Honestly. And I don't know why exactly. I did hear somebody make a point where it's entirely possible that because it's in UE5, that the landscaping itself is just from the UE5 library, which I have no problem that that's how they did it. That's perfectly fine. I don't expect them to make all new assets just for terrain, but it doesn't feel the same. I like my unique Halo look everything there. I like to look at something and know, oh hey, it's Halo. Instead of, what is this? Oh, it's Halo? I would never know. It's not the response I want when I see things. Also, this HUD is awful. I didn't mention it yet, the HUD looks absolutely garbage. They took away one-shotting hunters, but I don't mind that with the Magnum, because I think it was a glitch anyway, and it's not like they're too much harder to kill the Magnum. The UE5 thing, yeah, probably. I don't like sprint, but we'll get into that. It largely boils down to how it affects everything else. And also, it just looks goofy in this. This UI, this HUD looks terrible. Here. I do not like the health bar up there, the shield bar. It's both of those. I'm kind of neutral on the motion tracker, honestly. And then the rest of it just looks too reminiscent of Halo 5 kind of era. It doesn't feel like CE, the layout is different and I don't like it. I can bring up a screenshot, again, really easy. Oh, I don't even have to bring up anything, I can just pull that up. You can see that they wildly changed where everything is, and I don't really like that. I don't like it being bottom right when CE was top left, top right when CE was bottom left, and then centered health bar that feels like it's straight out of Halo 5. Not a fan of that. Yeah, it looks way too 343 Halo. I like my old HUDs better.
Area secure.
They do have Stacker in this, and Stacker sounds amazing. Is that Rocco always there? I don't mind if it wasn't. My brain is just going, wait, because I've played so much Halo. Maybe it is, but it looked different. You'll notice there were not power-up boxes, and we don't know why. CE having the power-ups there to begin with, the overshield and stuff like that, was fine. I would leave them in. I would leave them in. I don't know if they're going to be in and they just didn't have the asset done or something like that, or if they're taking them out or replacing them. I hope that they don't replace them with the stupid infinite system. The infinite system is absolute garbage. For that, I don't like the chuck thing into your chest. Yeah, into your chest instead of having a box that you step into. I love that they kept the grunt voices so much. Up close, I'm not sure I like the look of the grunts, but if you're, say, 4 feet back, it looks fine. I don't know, there's just something about it. The animations of the hunters look good. The hunters themselves look great. The hunter sound design is perfect. I love it. It's so good. And like I said, it doesn't seem to be too hard to kill them with the Magnum. So I'm not too upset about them not being one-shot, which again I think was a glitch. Here's this hologram up close.
Use the holo panel to shut down the security system.
It just doesn't look like the last one. There's too much going on. Where if I bring up my media player, this one is very sleek, it's very clean, it fits the Forerunner aesthetic perfectly. You can see the panel down at the bottom. When I look back down, it's very specific. These panels are everywhere in Halo CE, and they look very good. So you've got the old one, and then you've got the new one, which this looks like Halo 4.
Use the
I'm
holo
not
panel
happy
to
about
shut
that.
down the security system.
The cutscene is almost great, except that I'm not as big of a fan of the Elite's model. It's good, it's just not how I would have made it. It's too much
Good.
black
That
with
should
gold
open the door that
accents
leads into
instead
the
of
main
gold
shaft.
with black accents. It
We
looks
need to go
fine.
to the main facility. Let's
I
head back down
just
the beach.
like my Elites.
Mayday!
The CEs in Halo 2-way.
Enemy fire! Repeat, we are under heavy fire and
The camo, I'm not sure if it looks way harder to see.
We're on our way.
I guess we'll find out playing if it looks harder to spawn or not. Now here's another little change that they made. We
Chief,
can't tell if they
Bravo
actually
22
have
was
fall
bringing
damage,
us some heavy
however,
weapons. After I saw we were up against hunters,
when
I
he
thought you
does
could use
this,
them.
I think that this implies that there's fall damage. Which there should be because it's Halo CE, not Infinite. So yeah, they moved some stuff around. They have these rocks now, which are not there in the original, but everybody jumps off anyway, and then immediately picks up a health pack. So I'm fine with there being rocks to help with your drop, so you don't take damage. That's not a problem. But we don't know if there's fall damage because he drops on the rocks. I would assume that dropping on the rocks implies that there is. I do love those jackal shields, personally. I know some people don't. I do. And then they've massacred my boy. This thing looks awful. What did they do to the spanker? Let me bring my screenshots up. Keep an eye on that carry handle, because that's a big part of this. This thing looks like garbage. When I go over here, and we find my rockets, we'll go CE first. Very nice, unique look to it, right? And then in your hand, that carry handle really isn't that way. It's not the way that they've designed it. That thing sticks out way too far. It doesn't look right. If I go back to the last one we were looking at. Is it this way? That carry handle, at least on this side, isn't there. And when I try and get pictures so you can see this, that carry handle doesn't exist. Very Halo 4-5 look. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Also, you'll notice the band on the front of the barrels. Do they have that on this one? Not the same way. No, it's a different band that doesn't look nearly as nice. If I scoot forward to Halo 2, You can see that they're, again, very careful at making it look like a better version. I even have the Anniversary Edition shown here, which is still pretty darn faithful. And they don't have that carry handle. Probably because that carry handle looks like ass. Look at that thing. That's super ugly on the front of there. It's just not a good look. I also don't like the sound. They've made it just bang, kaboom, whereas the actual rocket launcher in the games has a hiss from sound. And you'll notice some of what I'm saying is also what Xperia says, Hidden Xperia. Because I did watch his stuff on this, that's where I saw it all. And I do have similar opinions on some of the things. And I will take some of the things that he said that are better at encapsulating my thoughts and just repeat them. It's fine for me to do that because it's the same idea, just put better. Like the air hiss that's there. Not chunky enough. For me, it's that air hiss, it's not there. When he fires it, it's just a bang. There's no unique sound to it. Kinda heard a little hiss, but it's not the same. Yeah, you're not hearing the hiss through the tube, you're hearing the hiss of the rocket already flying. Which is not how that sounds. If I just chuck rocket... Wait. Here we go, perfect. That's not what I clicked. You hear that sound? That very distinct sound? It's very pneumatic compared to Kaboom, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, that is the most generic rocket sound I've ever heard. I do not like it. Oh, there's more ads. Okay. The physics for the vehicles feel a little bit different, but not like wildly so. It feels a little more both snappy but overcorrective, and I don't dislike that, honestly. Because the bulk of the physics feel the same. I don't think I like the waypoints. And it'll be weird if I turn them off. Oh, you can see the skyline there. It'll be weird if I turn them off because Halo CE has waypoints normally. But it's not like this, where it's the places that they do it. The water looks great, you have the gas giant up there that's the right kind of coloring. It looks good. I think that's my video buffering. Oh, because we didn't switch off of, that'll do it. That's why I don't watch things above 1080. It's gonna feel weird having a 30-round mag and having to reload all the time, in CE specifically, instead of bullet holes. How'd you miss that shot? My guy. Yeah, there's your skybox. Seriously, the guy is below you on the ground. Shoot the feet. And this is going to be the end of their thing, because this is all anyone ever got to see. The people that got to play only got to play to this point. I'm not sure I like that part of that cutscene. Something about that behavior, that movement specifically, the way that they model it. I don't know if it's too snappy, what it is. In CE, with their cutscenes, other stuff like this, especially if you think about like 343, the mission, not the company. When he's checking corners and stuff, he does it in a very specific manner, a very cautious feeling. He lingers for a second where he looks, whereas this one is just snappy. It's like it's too quick, too snappy. I would like this if it was slowed down between when he moves to different areas. I'm also not sure why he looks up the same way, but okay. I think it is that it's just too snappy between it. Yeah, it's too quick. He should be slower to really feel like Master Chief in the original, where he's cautious with the way that he moves to look at things, instead of just quick, reckless, I'm gonna go in and wreck house. I'm super glad that they kept this part of the cutscene, though. Basically exactly the way that it should be. Like, how would you not have this part in here? Correct, yeah. Measured and deliberate, exactly. Kick the rock, and then that's the end of that. The people that played the preview didn't get to go any farther than that, so we only really have half of one mission to look at it. Oh, Bliss already did a thing too. And now we have the round table. Do I have anything else I need to peek at in my screenshots or stuff like that? Oh, I know what I didn't talk about. Where's the sword guy? Alright, that's him coming back out. Here we go. This sword design. Can I get a good look at that sword for you guys? Because I've seen a better look at it. I think we'll see better in the round table. So far, everything we've already talked about. And then, yeah,
Halo
here's
Campaign
their behind the
Evolved
scenes
is
stuff.
the next project coming out of Halo Studios. It is the ultimate Halo CE campaign remake. It is coming to Xbox.
Not if you're using some of those visual models and sounds. It ain't.
PC, and for the first time, PlayStation. It'll be.
Yeah, it is coming to PlayStation, and that's a good thing. I don't like exclusives. More people get to play it, and that's better.
Arriving next year to talk
I know
more
why
about
they did it.
We've got Dan,
I never
Max,
liked
and Greg from the
exclusives to
development
begin with.
team. Guys, let's get into this. Why is this the right game for right now?
We did this work on Halo Anniversary. I felt like there were certain things that were left unsaid. There were certain things that we weren't able to achieve at that time. There were certain things we weren't able to do.
It's a great time to revisit.
Yeah, everybody has thought that, right? Everyone has played through the Anniversary Edition and not been a fan of certain things in the remaster, like the lighting. other stuff that kind of messes with the atmosphere.
Combat evolved for new players,
they're aware of that,
for
clearly.
established Halo players, and maybe even for old friends playing on different hardware today, to allow them to play together and enjoy the franchise together again.
Going back to the Halo ring again for the first time.
For the first time is really important, and for them to be surprised by new content and feel like excited again about exploring the ring world.
For new players, this is the right time for you to jump in. Think of this as your introduction into this huge franchise we've been building for the past 25 years.
Well, if you want to do right by the new players, you better make it pretty representative of the other game, shouldn't you? Like the original one that you're
Curious
remaking.
how you're going to focus on capturing the essence of the original, knowing that you need to evolve to kind of move the experience forward.
Yeah, from design, we don't take that lightly
Why
at
it's
all.
happening, when
Whenever
it's
we
happening.
make a change, the number one thing was to be true to the original game.
For every one of those topics that comes up,
Is it like going back and checking, hey, does this feel the same kind of thing? And a bunch of other people from other parts of the team looking at it, also checking, I don't know. How much Microsoft has squandered the fact that younger generations still care culturally, despite them doing nothing with the IP? Yeah. We've gotten 3 games in the past decade and 1 in the last 5 years. It is insane. And they could do so much with the IP if they would just license it out. That's all you gotta do, is license out the ability to use the IP to other studios to make their own fun little game stuff.
there's someone who is incredibly passionate on the other side saying we can, like, that is sacred. We do not.
Oh, this part, here we go.
The experience forward.
Yeah, from design, we don't take that lightly at all. Whenever we make a change, the number one thing was to be true to the original game.
For every one of those topics that comes up, there's someone who is incredibly passionate on the other side saying we can, like, that is sacred. We do not move that crate.
It's really about looking across.
So, it's weird to me how they can say that, and then as we've just seen, they use assets from Infinite instead of the base game. Why are you throwing in assets from Halo Infinite when you're remaking Halo Combat Evolved? Just like Hidden Xperia over there said, with his stuff. Sure, I like Halo Infinite and some of the designs from it, but this is Halo CE. I want Halo CE in my Halo CE remake, even if I like some of the Halo Infinite designs. I don't want Halo Infinite in CE. I just want remade Halo CE. Just like last time with the remaster that they did, it was just Reach in Halo CE, and a lot of people didn't like that, because they wanted a remaster of CE, not Reach shoved into CE, and that's what they're doing now with Infinite for like half the models. And it doesn't make sense to me how they say here that they keep things, they hold things as very sacred and want to be as authentic and true as possible to it. But then they make these weird changes that don't need to be made.
Over the years, what technology we've built, and how we can tie that back into this experience.
So in this game, up to 4 people can play the campaign together, regardless of which platform they're on. And then, we're kicking it old school, we can play 2-player co-
Like the 30-round magazine. I still don't understand why they chose to do that. Why do you need a 30-round magazine in a game that had the 60-round magazine? And if it's a balance thing, why don't you just balance it the way it was before? I'm very confused about that. You know who worked on Halo 1 and just put out a shooter that is a decent amount of people bought and liked? Gearbox? Yeah.
co-op on consoles, on the couch together, just like we did back in the original. What do you have to do differently to account now for 4 people running around?
For different co-op counts, we will make some of the spaces larger. We also want to make sure we're authentic to the encounters themselves, so
We don't see in anything showing here or the other trailers anything that's really enlarged. Maybe that area with the hunters, the circular chunk, where you can drive the Warthog now, might be a little bit larger, but if it is, it's to such a small extent that you don't even really feel it. We've not seen anything that they've made larger yet, because we only have half of one campaign mission.
So it's a balancing act between that difficulty tuning and making those encounters the right size for the right space.
I understand that we've done some special tune-up works to the beloved Warthog.
We have. There's a new seat, what I like to call the golf cart seat or the bumper seat. This is on the back of the Warthog, so now you can bring everyone with.
It's goofy, it's silly.
Let's talk a little bit about...
It's kind of dumb, but they had to get 4 people on it, and that's probably the best way to do it. So, I'm fine with it.
Now you can bring everyone with.
Mind if I join you?
Let's talk a little bit about one of my favorite aspects of the Halo franchise. What is a skull? What's cool about it? What does it do?
A skull is a
I hope we get to pick them up and run around and smack people with them.
Spirited. It makes the game more challenging for the player.
The combination, the pairing of these different skulls and how that's going to create that new gameplay experience. Huge amount of replay options for folks.
I love the replayability.
Did I just say?
Create that new gameplay
Stun, lava damage. Floor is lava. Interesting.
experience.
And then the right side's too blurred to read. So it seems like there might be a floor is lava skull. I don't have any idea how they're going to do that unless, I remember a floor is lava challenge or something that was just, like, not leaving a vehicle or something? Or not using a ground vehicle? I don't remember. There's something that I remember from one of the games.
Huge amount of replay options.
It has to do with the name.
I love the replayability that skulls bring to a campaign. It is almost endless variety.
We have dozens of skulls this time.
The most that we've ever had in a Halo game.
Yeah. Yeah, an achievement for clearing a level like that? Exactly.
Are you a
That's
lasso
exactly
guy?
what I'm talking
I think
about.
you yourself told me that you don't think anyone would ever be able to complete this game with legendary all skulls on.
I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot. And so if you can do a true legendary all skulls on run.
What I think he means by true is having every single skull on, not just the classic ones.
Let us know, because I'd love to see it. I think, that'd be really hard.
If there's one thing that this community...
There's one thing that they talk about here where they think of it as stuff for a challenge. The way that I think skulls is they're modifiers. Yes, they make a challenge, but they also do fun, goofy little things. It's just basically anything that somebody might think of that makes a different experience, or is a little silly, part of like an Easter egg thing, like Grunt Birthday Party, stuff like that. Or with MCC, the one where you're punching the profits, and now instead of the normal sound, it wants guitar riffs, stuff like that are goofy. You want a good mixture instead of just make everything harder.
Do not underestimate them, and they will find a way.
Because they also have stuff like in Halo 1, Infinite Ammo Skull. Can they offer money to someone who could do a Halo 2 lasso run? Someone did. It might have been Charlie.
So
I think that was already done.
Known for its sandbox. How has this evolved?
We made sure that anything we included
There's some people that specialize in doing like doing lasso
the
speedruns.
sandbox in a drastic way, but there's some really fun kind of additions, and that's across enemies, weapons, vehicles, things that in the original CE weren't.
That sword, there we go. Perfect. That sword design is so good. Can I bring up my Steam? Here we go. Is the energy sword model. So you can see in the original one, it's just this glowy thing. Doesn't have too much visual identity to it other than being a glowy blue sword. But then, you couldn't have it in CE, so naturally I can't get a good picture of it. But then you go to Halo 2, and it has some nice rounded look, and this has always been my favorite version. The Halo 2 one. It looks so good, right? Well, when we go back to here, they have kind of kept that nice round look to it. That's very good.
Weren't able to do before that you now can.
I love that sword model.
With the sword, that weapon hits the floor, and you can pick that up and just, kind of really take it to the enemy.
It's great. The sound design.
Look at it.
Weapons, by the way.
They kind of go halfway between being rounded and more like the Halo 3 size. When we look at this, Is that
before that you now can
over here?
Across, enemies, weapons, vehicles, things that in the original CE you weren't able
can
to
kind of see it. Yeah, it's a little more round, but it's not perfectly round.
That weapon hits the floor, and you can pick that up and just, kind of You finally killed the elite with the sword.
And it looks
that weapon hits the floor, and you can pick that up and just, kind of really take it to the enemy.
It's great. The sound design. All these weapons, by the way, have been painstakingly remodeled, rebuilt, higher fidelity. How do all these things kind of come to life?
That comes across through the way they look, the way they sound, the effects, the actual panels on the weapons themselves,
there you go. There's
the ammo
their
counters.
skybox support.
The fully dynamic lighting within Lumen allows us to get those effects, right? That rich
Plasma
plasma lighting up and brightening the environment.
The Lumen's going to destroy people's
one of the
computers.
hallmark elements of Halo CE is what becomes kind of a three-way battle with the introduction of the Flood.
There was quite a bit of development between Halo CE and 3 to kind of how the Flood behaved.
They're making a change
and
I
just
don't
how they
like
interacted
here.
with the player. So we've pulled a lot of those Flood behaviors into this game.
And I would say this is a learning specifically from...
There's a problem here with them talking about taking behavior from later games, and they're going to talk about one of the Flood types and moving it back into CE. Lore-wise, it doesn't make any sense. Because in CE, the Flood is not the same as in the other games. There's different stages to a Flood outbreak, and part of that is the stage of their hive mind. They can't do certain things if their hive mind is not smart enough yet, like make pure Flood forms that they're going to talk about. Yeah, they have to have the proper grave mind to it. Technically, they have a hive mind still before they have a grave mind. The grave mind is at least at a specific state when that starts being around. They have a hive mind anyway. I think it's called the feral stage before that. And some of the behaviors that they're going to have aren't supposed to be there, I'm sure. And are going to be lore-breaking, and I'm not going to be a fan of that.
Mood, the atmosphere, the tension.
However, I will say, you can see them
specifically
put stuff
from
down here.
CE2 Anniversary.
The atmosphere there looks nice and murky the way it should be.
Which is just kind of that mood,
but
the atmosphere,
we get, like,
the tension,
3 seconds
the horror,
to put in something
and really
somewhere.
delivering on that from the way that we stage the encounters and the setup and how we reveal the Flood.
In Halo Legacy, there were some pure form units. We have pulled in a familiar friend, familiar fiend, if you will, to challenge the player.
Chucking those in there.
Talk to me just a little bit about how we're approaching the narrative aspects to bring it up to the same level as the rest of this game.
We want to tell an authentic story, and we want to level up the cinematics from the source.
As we were building this out, we didn't just kind of put a new coat of paint over the original cinematics, right? We ended up revisiting exactly how they were blocked out, how they were sequenced, how they were put together, and we've done that across the board.
We have access to original source assets, original source code, and access to the original storyboards. We are
checking my mic sound real quick. Okay.
Mastering,
it's going to sound
remixing
worse,
the music
but I need to
go
block
along with
out
these
some background
cinematics.
noise.
We also had the core principal cast come in and re-record all the lines.
How much firepower would you need to crack one of the engine shields?
This really provides a degree of fidelity that we weren't able to do for Halo Anniversary.
Now would be a very good time to leave.
I'm super excited that this game will include 3 brand new bonus missions.
This part's
Tell me a little bit about that.
I'm curious how they're going to
really
do it.
important that we preserve the original story as it is. So these missions specifically are meant to be a prequel, a setup for, the main course.
I have no idea what that thing in the background is. I spent a solid probably 15 minutes thinking about what this is. That's next to his head. I was thinking about if it's like a bandit turret, which doesn't make sense because they don't look like that. It kind of looks like a seraph, but at the same time, that's not what a seraph looks like, so it's not that. No idea. I don't know if this is like a turret thing, if this is a ship. No idea. Because it doesn't look like anything that I recognize. Marty punching the air.
Missions are going to offer some new opportunities for character interactions, maybe between Chief and Johnson.
We've got some new mechanics, maybe some new AI behaviors,
see
things
what their
that haven't
Johnson
been done
looks
before in Halo CE.
I think we're just getting
Their
started.
version of Johnson.
So where are we right now at this stage in development? What can you share with us?
In the past few weeks, we've been able to start engaging and sending builds out to some of our community members.
We can now see so many of the elements of the level really coming together.
There's a point in every game's life cycle where it kind of just comes online.
Seeing really high fidelity versions of the cinematics, elements of the sandbox and encounter tweaks and the lighting.
You can go to someone's desk and give feedback live on an experience, and to me that's like really exciting.
Perfect. I love the fact that you can see the Nekolo actually worming around.
Our entire Halo community to welcome with open arms this next generation of players. I'm excited to just relive these experiences again for this next generation.
I'm curious if they're playing at the same time. If that's the same game. And one of them just has old graphics equipped. Also, there's something weird on the bottom left of two of their screens. What is that? Is that a power-up? Oh no, they have the stupid infinite power-up, don't they?
Players. I'm excited to just relive these experiences again.
Please tell me that's not what that is. It looks like a shield.
I'm excited to just relive these.
Oh wait, one of them already has a little bit of green on his health bar. That might just be, hey, you've got this active? I don't know.
Players. I'm excited to just.
But then why'd you need a second icon that shows you that?
Relive these experiences again for the first time.
Oh. I do not know. Alright, that's all three of their things. We'll go back to their thing here now that we've read all of it. I don't think I have anything else that I need to show for screenshots. No, I don't think so. Okay. 4K footage, gameplay demo in engine, on the Xbox, yeah. Anything in here that I should read out? I don't think so, no. Yeah, and then just coming in 2026. They've got their progress kit and wish list. It does have a Steam thing. Your movement defines a lot of your game, right? Yeah. The game has to be made around your movement. So, level design, enemy behavior, balancing of things like your health, enemy health, weapon damage, even the projectile speed of things is all based around your movement when somebody makes a game, right? They have claimed that they're not really changing a whole lot of the sizing of stuff, right? But they also have sprint in it, and my understanding is it's a toggleable thing where you can turn it off. But if they just airdrop it in on top of a game that already exists, I don't think they're going to do a great job of that, because the game that they're tossing it into isn't built around sprint. I imagine that's going to make it feel really weird, and it's not going to be great. Yeah, they're just dropping it into the game the way that it already exists, which is weird. I'm not a big fan of that decision. I also would not be a big fan, what was I doing, if they remade the entire game around sprint either. They're trying to have it both ways, and I don't think it's going to go well. Because that's not really how design works. Hopefully, they'll prove me wrong.